Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti and this is episode 20 of the Battleship Brawl Season 2 tournament. This episode we've got the Paladin by Lynch going up against the GNS Dreadnought by the Shadow Kick. This is yet another secondary round match, so whoever wins this battle will move on to the next round and the loser goes home. And that's pretty much all there is to it, so let's get round one here underway. We'll see how this goes. The Dreadnought is a very compact ship, very small, but still uses up all of the materials budget. And we saw in its battle against the Gold Rose, is rather durable. But it is a little lacking on the firepower side. So it took those hits there and relatively minor damage. I mean, the deck got ripped open there, has some exposure to some of its inners now, but it didn't take any serious damage. Ooh, that gun just took a shot straight to the face. It has been knocked out, it seems, no longer functioning. The Paladin seems to have lost a big chunk of its... Oh yeah, see, it's losing even more of that pontoon armor that it's got. If the Dreadnought manages to punch into that inner hull, the Paladin might end up having some rotation issues. But we'll see. So far, get a damage report. Initial Paladin 97%, Dreadnought going on 100%. Oh, it looked like those shells mostly fell underneath it, with one of them tagging the very bottom of the Dreadnought. And it doesn't seem to mind that damage at all. It is tanking the hits from the Paladin just fine. Not a problem. Ooh, and that gun just took a big hit there. Completely annihilated the front, and did a lot of damage to the internal components there. The Paladin is running out of guns. The Dreadnought's doing just fine on its. It so far has only taken really superficial damage, and it's repairing most of the damage. Oh, see, 100% there, just as I closed the menu. Oh, let's see how these shots do. They look like they went a little higher. Hit the deck, and now the Dreadnought seems to be having a little bit of buoyancy troubles itself, but all of its guns seem active still, which definitely looking like that's going to be the deciding factor. Ooh, that looks like it may have just... Yeah, one of the guns did just get taken out on the Dreadnought. But it is a... oh, yeah, the Dreadnought down to 93% from that hit. Big chunk of health lost. Just because guns tend to be a very significant portion of a ship's HP. Losing one generally does a lot of damage to it. The Paladin having some serious issues now. Its nose is dipped down into the water to the point where it's going extremely slow. Granted, the Dreadnought seems to be dead in the water now. What happened here? I wonder if did it take a hit in... Yeah, it looks like that shell went in there and got the engine. You can see the piping. So both ships badly damaged. Both of them able to really take some hits, though. Well, the Dreadnought really wishing... It's probably really wishing that its opponent would hit this heavy armor belt, which it looks like those last shots did. Because that is a very tough portion of the ship. Excuse me. No frog in my throat there. Now this, ooh, looks like we had a misfire there. Dreadnought taking a few more hits, but it seems to be holding up still. Oh, looks like this gun may have been actually knocked offline by that shot. So its weapons were holding up in the beginning, and that was giving it a pretty significant advantage. But now it's now it seems the Paladin is evening that number out. Now the Dreadnought seems to have gotten its engine working again and is now in motion, which should help it somewhat, but it is getting very low in the water as well. Both of these ships very durable. Ooh. Yeah, with the Dreadnought listing like it is right now, many of the shots are hitting in the actual deck armor from the angle. And, you know, they're coming in and hitting this deck rather than hitting the heavy armor belt because it's tilted down like that. definitely not what the Dreadnought wants. Now it's... Ooh, it's so close to actually sinking at this point. Oh, that was a big hit. It sounded like had some secondary explosions happen. Something important just got hit on the Dreadnought, but it's still in the lead hit point wise. The Paladin seems to have trouble out damaging the Dreadnought's repair capabilities. Like when it hits something like the guns and whatnot and knocks off a big chunk at once, it does reduce the hit points down. But the Paladin's guns have a rather low rate of fire, it seems. Oh, and the bow's been nearly cut in two. Just a very thin layer of metal holding that big chunk on. If that falls off, it will not be good for the Paladin. That'll be a lot of hit points lost. But the Dreadnought, once again, it started getting all this repaired, and then what it really needs to do is turn the other way and present its undamaged side to the Paladin. Because if it keeps taking hits in the damaged side like this, it's eventually going to lose something critical, because its armor is going to get whittled down. But it seems the Dreadnought is content to just circle at its in its current direction. It is slowly chipping away blocks itself, though. Ooh, that was an explosion right in that area where there's just like 3 or 4 beams right here holding this whole thing together. Man, both of these ships are taking... Oh, and even more of those beams just got knocked off. There's literally 3 beams there. Okay, that's actually 2 layers thick, so it's like 6 or 7 beams. But that's just such a thin little spot holding a lot of blocks on. Ooh, Dreadnought actually getting lifted out of the water there a little bit by those explosions. It is not a light ship, so doing that's rather impressive. Oh, it seems like the Dreadnought is listing too much, and its guns can no longer elevate enough to fire. That or they can't turn back far enough. One of the two. The Dreadnought may have gotten, the Paladin may have gotten within the Dreadnought's minimum broadside range, and it's now trying to flee rather than broadside. No, it's turning. But with that heavy list, its guns are having a very hard time actually aiming. But there they go. They got some shots off now, which it really needs to do. Here, what's it? Oh, something huge just happened on the Paladin. Oh, that chunk I've been watching just got sawed off by that last volley, and it just lost a huge chunk of hit points because of that. It was like a 2 or 3 or 4% game up until that point. And it seems like many of the Paladin shells are actually getting detonated by... They may be inertially fused and they're detonating when they hit the water. Or maybe altitude fused. I'm not sure. But they are detonating well before they should. For whatever reason that is. Oh, geez. Dreadnought taking some big hits there. You know, I think it's that alloy deck of it that's actually keeping it afloat right now. If it wasn't for that alloy, it probably would go down. Because it's such a heavy vessel. Now it's an 83 to 75% game, and we've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Man, another game with the Dreadnought where it's coming down right down to the wire. The last battle we saw the Dreadnought in with the Gold Rose, it lost its second time like literally half a second before the timer expired. It was such a heartbreaking defeat. Now it's only a 6% game though. If they get within 5%, it'll be a draw, and we'll have to refight this. Oh, there it is, 78 to 76. It's a 2% game, 45 seconds left on the clock. This might be a draw, folks. Oh, but there were some big explosions. It looked like, they may have just been cram shells going off. 30 seconds left on the clock. Wait, those shells are exploding when they hit the water, but then continuing on and hitting the ship and detonating again? Is that what I just saw? That's really strange. Okay, 15 seconds left on the clock. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. That is a 3% gain. That is a draw, folks. First draw of the tournament, I believe. Unless I'm forgetting something. So yeah, this battle basically does not count. Two very, very equally matched vessels here. We will see how round 2 go. Oops. Dang it, I accidentally hit I was trying to hit Alt to lower the camera down towards the water some more, and I accidentally hit the Windows key instead. The Paladin. Alright, we've got them set. Round 1, take 2, start. Okay, now folks, since the first round was a draw, the 5% rule is no longer in play for this match. Whoever has the most hit points, even if it's only 1%, wins this round. Ooh, immediately the Dreadnought took out one of the Paladin's guns, but it looked like the Dreadnought may have taken some good hits on it, of its own. No, nothing. No, really just superficial damage to the underside of the bow there. Nothing major so far. But the Paladin losing that very front gun in the first volley could cause it some problems. And those shots look like they hit the armor belt of the Dreadnought, so not a whole lot done there. Oh, those shells are getting really close to knocking off some barrels of the Paladin's guns. Man, they are getting so close. Not quite getting it. Dreadnought, 99%, once again tanking the shots. Paladin, 95%. Now if the Dreadnought turns away, hopefully... Oh, it's going in for the ram, it looks like, actually. Oh, that did so much damage to that pontoon. That broke blocks all the way up and down the side of it. Man. That pontoon is not made to resist ramming, that's for sure. Now the two ships are just kind of stuck together, wailing on each other. Oh no, but the Dreadnought's being... It looks like the Dreadnought's actually being forced under a little bit by the Paladin's weight. Okay, guys, don't get sidelong here and start scraping along each other's sides. That's how the game crashes. Oh god, yeah. See, here we go. Extreme FPS lag. Yep, I need to stop the clock temporarily to try and even things out, because oh man, this is the game might crash here, folks. Okay, gonna start the clock again. Let some time go by. So they're moving decently now. Still some pitching, but even though the Dreadnought's guns here are forced under the water, they're so close that even underwater, they're not going to miss. But it's being forced completely under the Paladin. Looks like they're separating a bit now. Paladin can't exactly miss in this situation either. But I wonder if that going underneath the Paladin like that did damage to the guns up here. No, it doesn't look like it. They look like they're doing just fine. Oh, but the Dreadnought might be going down. Oh, its smokestack is barely above the waterline. If it was 80% though, I think the game might call it sinking. But it's at 95% actually. I wonder why it's having so much trouble coming back up. It looks like it's slowly getting there now. Oh, the Paladin's having even more troubles over there. It's floundering almost. I almost feel like it's the Dreadnought's propulsion that's actually pushing it under the water. Whoa, those shells got really close. The Dreadnought got very close to being considered sinking there, but did not quite go all the way under. The smokestack stayed above. Oh, that might be a good... Oh, those shots landed right on the propellers of the Paladin. I'm not sure it has any propulsion left at this point. No, I think it is. I think it is dead in the water until those get repaired. Oh, and the Dreadnought's sinking back down again though, and now it is completely under the water. So I must start the clock on it. And it looks like it's going down and down and down. It needs to stop and let itself come up. I think because of the angle of the ship, the propulsion is actually pushing it down as it sails. And it's funny because it's at 98%, but it's sinking. It's in near perfect condition. But, oh, there we go. It's out of the water. Okay. So it used a little more than half of this disqualification clock there. Maybe a little less. I mean, it's fine for right now. It came back up. That's the important thing. And now it's in extremely good shape because it's 98% and the Paladin's 82. All it has to do is not die, not get hit, and it has this match in the bag. But yeah, something is as slow and lumbering as the Dreadnought. It kind of takes hits. It's what it does. That's why it has that heavy armor belt on the side. We are down to 3 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock for this round. But with a 17% lead, it's going to take some seriously good shots from the Paladin to catch back up at this point. It's having buoyancy issues again. Keeps dipping down and coming back up. It may be the recoil of its guns that force it down. That is entirely possible. Oh, geez. Don't go down again, Dreadnought. You don't have a whole lot of time. And it is sinking once more. Okay. Start up the clock. It had 3 seconds left. once more sinking. It would be a real shame for it to lose at this point when it's 94%, 80%. I'm not sure it's going to make it, though. Nope, it did not make it up the... Oh, you're just a little bit too late there, Dreadnought. Nope, I'm sorry, you are disqualified for sinking. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we'll go ahead and this is basically round 2. Basically, the first round ended in a draw, doesn't really count for anything. Now, however, since there was a victory for the Paladin in the second battle, the 5% rule is back in effect for this one. That only happens if there's the 5% rule being reduced and making it a sudden death only happens after a draw. Once there's something else in between that, then the 5% rule comes back. Right, so we have one victory for the Paladin via sinking its opponent. We'll see here whether the Dreadnought can step up its game and defeat the Paladin here, or if the Paladin's going to claim victory, eliminate the Dreadnought from the tournament, and climb its way back high, or climb its way higher on the secondary bracket. Status report, we got 94% on the Paladin, 99% on the Dreadnought. Oof. Man, normally when we'd be on a third battle like this, we'd be, you know, looking at an elimination, like a guaranteed elimination, but no, we had that draw. So this is probably going to be a single battle episode. It's because these are not quick fights between these two. Both of these ships very durable, not giving up easy. Oh, it looks like the Dreadnought's got some heavy listing going on again. That listing is causing it some serious issues because, like I mentioned before, it makes the deck armor far more exposed. The secondaries from the Dreadnought there missing, unfortunately. Unfortunately for it. And the Paladin's guns are having no problem really consistently hitting the Dreadnought. And as long as it does that, the Dreadnought doesn't do so well. That armor can only take so many hits. It may be thick, but it's not invincible. Let's get another damage report. 96% on the Dreadnought, 91% on the Paladin. I mean, it's not invincible, but it's definitely hard to kill. The Dreadnought, oh, it looks like that cannon got taken down. May have knocked out the AI, or maybe just the wireless controller. Whatever it is, that gun is no longer aiming. I just noticed this front gun here has been damaged as well. I keep seeing those shells. It looks like they detonate and then continue on through the water and then detonate a second time. That's really strange. It sounded like that was an over-penetration there. I didn't see any explosion from the pen depth fused shell. Or time after impact, whichever it is. I know the green means they're APHE hybrid, whether they're penetration depth or time after impact fused. You can't tell just by the color. Or actually, does the green just mean AP? Because I think there was one vessel that had pure AP shells. And they were green as well. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Oh, looks like the... I'm not sure what this gun is up to. It's having some... What is that barrel doing? It's dancing! Oh, both ships at 88%, another close match. Oh man, if this ends up drawing again, this may end up being a very long video between these two ships. Paladin seems to be doing just fine though. It's taken some damage, but it's moving along just fine, whereas the Dreadnought is having that listing issue. And that's slowly letting the Paladin work it over. And ooh, that engine has been hit. It's been cored pretty heavily through the center here. Oh, and it looks like the Dreadnought has gone pretty much dead in the water. Not at all good for it, but it's still 1% match. Yeah, see, those shells detonated on the water here, and then you can see the explosions of them detonating here too. Yeah, see, look, you can see what the heck is going on with that? I'm not sure if that's a bug or if there's some sort of, you know, way to design a shell to do that, or what's going on there. I don't know if they're actually exploding or if it's just a visual thing. And in reality, there aren't explosions there, but you can see the explosions going off here and then off on the ship too. Here, let me go ahead and try and get an angle so that we can see both areas of detonation at once. Of course, they don't do it that time. That time it looked, that was pretty standard. But see, explosion, and couldn't really see the explosion, but multiple blocks fell off. But the fact that the shell kept going after the detonation, like, what the heck's going on with that? I am very curious as to what's causing that. Oh, the Paladin has gotten a 5% lead at this point, though. There's 2 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock. If it keeps going at this rate, the Paladin is going to end up pulling out the victory. Oof. Yeah, see, those shells look like they went in through the deck, and they're detonating inside where there isn't much armor. Just tearing the Dreadnought up from the inside. And now it's an 8%. It looks like this is it for the Dreadnought, folks. Unless it can get some good hits in and knock off a couple of turrets in the next minute and 45 seconds, I don't see it making up the hit point gap here. Especially with, well, there goes the other gun firing. That actually got really close to one of the guns on the Paladin. If it does actually manage to take that turret out, that could start causing some serious problems for the Paladin. But it looks like they're aiming at whatever is inside that heavy armor shell that you can see in there. And with pure explosive weapons like that, it's really not what the Dreadnought wants to be doing. Uh-oh, the Dreadnought seems to have stopped aiming. None of its guns are... Oh, one of its turrets popped. That is a shame. The other one is just not aiming. Oh, it is AI dead. It was just... Yeah, I was there just a second ago, but yeah, that is it. Condolences, Shadowkick, but your Dreadnought was just not able to defeat the Paladin here and has been eliminated from the Battleship Brawl tournament. Congratulations, Lynch. Paladin is moving on to round 2 of the secondary bracket. This was a pretty good length video, with it having to go 3 battles and all 3 of them either going the distance or getting within a minute or 2 of going the distance. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.